today on Color Outside the Box podcast.
And my goal is for people to understand that they need to work on their financial status. They need to be financially successful, not just for themselves, but for their children, so they can leave a legacy and some wealth behind for those children and grandchildren that are coming up. It's not good for you to be in debt and living paycheck to paycheck, because that's not God's plan for our lives.
Color Outside the Box is a podcast series that focuses on creating a better you. Whether it's advice about family, relationships, raising children in this technological world, marriage, or careers, we seek to find the answers to help you live your best life. So start your Monday morning off right with me, your hostess with the mostest, Princess Miller, on Color Outside the Box right here on iTunes and everywhere podcasts can be heard. Well, good morning. I am back with you with another exciting show. This is Princess Miller, your hostess of the Color Outside the Box podcast. So excited for our guest that we have in the studio with us. Man, this woman, she is a wealth consultant. She is a tax preparer. She is a credit consultant. And so we have just a great show that we're going to be talking about credit today. And we want to welcome to the show Miss Jonisha Turner. How are you doing, Miss Jonisha?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing great. Just so happy to have you here. I've been wanting to do a show like this for a while, and just so happy to have somebody of your caliber to come in and to talk to us about credit and how important credit is to us. And it seems like in today's society, that credit is becoming so prevalent. You know, they on jobs now, they check your credit on your jobs. So having the perfect credit can open the doors to not only a better way of life, but it can also open the doors to better employment. So Jonisha, talk to us about your business.
I am a wealth consultant, author, and speaker, and I do assist people to better their credit as well. And my goal is for people to understand that they need to work on their financial status. They need to be financially successful, not just for themselves, but for their children, so they can leave a legacy and some wealth behind for those children and grandchildren that are coming up. It's not good for you to be in debt and living paycheck to paycheck, because that's not God's plan for our lives. Mm-hmm. You know, He wants us to live a life of abundance and prosperity, and we have to be mindful of how we manage our money, manage our credit, and be good stewards of the things that He has blessed us with. And so that's why I teach people today to be a good steward of what God has given you and have good credit, be a man or woman of integrity.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Excellent. So what is credit? Because a lot of people they're unlearned of the fact of what credit is. So tell us, what is credit?
Credit is basically just your ability to pay your bills on time or pay your debt. Mm-hmm. And that's why a lot of people look at it not just for buying cars, but even for renting apartments or buying a home. Mm-hmm. Like you said, getting your job. So people are looking at your credit and your credit history to see, can you pay your bills on time? Mm-hmm. Am I going to allow you to move into this apartment and you're going to pay your rent? Mm-hmm. So people look at your ability to pay your bills and pay your debt. So that's what credit is all about. And you want to have good credit and establish and build it up over time.
Yes. And so if I was a 18-year-old that, hey, I just graduated from high school, I'm grown now, how do I get my credit started?
The best way to get it started would be to get a secured credit card. Okay. If you have $300 to $500 or even $1,000, go to your bank and open up a secured credit card with that. And that way you won't have to worry about going over limits and all of that. But also, even as a parent, we can put our children on our credit cards as authorized users, and that will give them payment history. Now, if you're not good with your credit, don't put your child on there. Okay?
Okay, all right.
You don't want to mess your child's credit up. Mm-hmm. But if you are a good steward and you have good credit, you want to assist your child with building that credit. And they don't even have to use the card. You don't have to give them the credit card or what have you. But just because they are an authorized user on the card, that allows them to have your payment history and helps them build credit as well. So those are two things right there. Make them an authorized user or go and get them a secured credit card.
How early can someone start their credit history or start, preparing for good credit?
Well, parents can put them on there early as possible. You know, even like your teenagers, if they're 12 and 13 years old, you can go ahead and make them authorized users on your credit card then.
Okay, that's something I didn't know.
Yeah, and even now, you know, you can start teaching them about money. Open them up a checking account so they can learn how to put money in the bank. I tell my people how to tithe. So if you're paying them, say $20 a week or whatever, let them see, okay, I got to put this in the bank. I got to pay my tithes and offering off of this. I'm going to save this, and teach them about money early along. And then that'll help as well, because they'll know, okay, I know how to save. I know how to pay my bills on time, because make them responsible for doing something.
Yes.
You know, even if it's nothing but you're going to buy your own lunch today. You know, I do my children like that sometimes. Y'all going to cover y'all own meal today. Y'all got money.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
I'm in that same boat with you. I got a 12 and 13-year-old, and they make their own money.
That's
you know?
it.
And so I'm trying to teach them now, okay, we're going to put this money aside. You know, if you want this, you save up for it.
Exactly.
And we have to start teaching them, because, you know, I was a child that grew up in a household. I wasn't taught about credit. Now, for some odd reason, my sister, she knew about credit. She knew about saving. And so when she came along, and I'm just a quick sidebar, when she was engaged, this girl had bought a house. Before she bought the house, she had already bought her furniture. She had already bought her dishes and all this kind of stuff. And I saw some of the things that she had in her closet. But when she got ready, she said, okay, Mom, I'm finna move out. And Mom was like, well, you don't have anything. She said, oh, yes, I do. I got a bedroom suite. I have couch and love seat. She had already purchased these things and had them sitting at a relative's house who had extra space. And when she moved in, her house was pretty much furnished.
She was prepared, and that's what you have to teach your children early. And that's why I say, if you make them authorized users early, when they go to college and stuff, when they start offering them all these credit cards, you can tell them, no, you ain't got to get all those credit cards and go into debt, because you don't want to go into debt. And even, you know, when they start going off to school, be careful even about those student loans. Don't get more than what you need. You know, only get what you need so you can pay it off, because you got to pay it when you graduate.
Ain't that the truth? I'm still paying student loans to this day. I know exactly what you're talking about.
So it's a way that we can start helping them build that credit early, you know, and then that way when they get older, they'll understand the importance of it. They'll be able to go and get their first apartment or purchase their first home, you know, and not have you having to co-sign for them, because co-signing for anybody, whether it's your child, mom or dad, a best friend or whatever, being a co-signer doesn't always work out in your best interest. So they'll be able to stand on their own 2 feet. They'll be independent to go and do the things that they need to do without being in debt or having that thing where I have to get debt, I have to get this credit card and do this, that, and the other. But you teach them early how to manage their money.
So what is a good credit score?
A good credit score is basically anything over 700.
Okay.
That's where they look at it, and I'm going to tell you the averages for a lot of people is right at about 650 or so. But the best score is 700 and above. And they look at that because at that rate, you're able to get better rates, even with your insurances. You're able to get lower interest rates on your home, on your cars. And that way you can pay 3% on an auto loan versus 12 and 15%, you know, so it makes a huge difference. And if your credit score is not up in the 700s, 800s, then now is the time to figure out why and get it right and start building it.
And it's a difference. Someone had posted on Facebook about someone who had purchased a car and they had great credit. And so their car note was maybe $320. Another person purchased the same vehicle, but their credit was not good.
Car note's triple. And
the car note was like it was like 500 and something. And so that $200 and something savings over time, that builds up. And that's what we have to learn how to do, is to be able to live in a manner where we're not, concerned about, well, am I going to be able to pay my insurance because I got to pay my car note because my, credit score was high. And then nowadays they check your credit in order to get insurance with a reputable, insurance agent.
They're checking your credit for everything now. And so now it is very important to keep a good credit score and to start building it. Pay your bills on time. Mm-hmm. That's a lot of it right there, and your payment history, making sure that even what's on your credit report is correct, because errors do happen.
Okay. Man, this is so good. We're going to take a break right here. We'll be right back on the Color Outside the Box podcast with our guest today, Miss Jonisha Turner. Stay tuned.
What's up, everybody? Trey here to tell you about one of the best gym experiences in Mobile, Embrace Fitness Training Center. Embrace Fitness is more than just a gym. We offer personal training, speed and agility training, golf simulator, golf fitness, boot camp classes, childcare, and even powerlifting. We're open Monday through Friday, 5 a.m. to 10 p.m., and Saturday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. We love families, and kids are welcome. At Embrace Fitness, we believe that a family that works out together will stay together and live healthier and happier lives. So embrace the new you. We're located on Airport Boulevard near Cody Road. Try Embrace Fitness Training Center today. Your first visit is on me.
Princess Creative Productions can provide affordable and professional video services for small to mid-sized businesses. Our in-studio virtual set shoots start as low as $200. Let our expert get to work on your next video project. Call 251-421-4490 to book your next shoot.
And we're back on the Color Outside the Box podcast. I am your host, Princess Miller, and we are back with Miss Jonisha Turner, and she's sharing with us some really great tips about credit and how to improve our credit and how to set up our children's future so that they can have great credit. So Jonisha, right before the break, you were sharing with us about, our children and how we can help them get secure credit cards and so forth. Continue with that.
Yes, that's how we can help our children, making sure that they have good payment history by adding them as authorized users. And also as they're older, getting their secured credit card. Because whether you believe it or not, there are actually 5 factors that make up your credit score.
Okay.
So I'm just going to discuss those briefly just so you understand what makes up your credit score and how you can improve at each area to make things better. We talked about payment history, and I was mentioning about pulling your credit report and actually knowing what's on there, because people make errors. They don't always report that you've paid things on time, or they may put something out there that may not belong to you. So you want to make sure that your payment history is correct, that things are being reported correctly on your credit report, and you need to pull that annually and just check it and make sure that everything is correct on there. The other one is credit utilization. Say if you do have a credit card and it's $1,000 limit, if you got $300 on there, you got 30% utilization on it. You want to keep it as low as possible. You don't want to max out any credit cards that you may have. And even the secured credit card that you get, don't max it out, because that alone is 30% of your score. The other one is the credit history or length of history. And that's what I was saying, starting your children early. The longer history that you have, the better your score is. And that's about 15% of your credit score. Payment history is about 35, credit utilization is 30, and then 15% is your credit history. So if you keep those things good, your score is going to be up. The other one is new credit. Of course, we don't want you to go and get in a bunch of debt, but if you're trying to build, get that secured credit card or open up your department store credit card, just to start something to show that, okay, you know how to use it, you know how to pay it on time, because that's what they're looking for. And then that way you have a mixture of credit, which is the 5th area, your credit mixture. So you have your revolving debt and some other things going on to show that, okay, this person is good, they can handle the debt, they can pay it off. And you'll see your credit score jump, and you'll see it start building. And you want to get it to over the 700s so you can get those low interest rates on things when you get ready to buy your home. So you won't be paying it off in 30 years. You can pay it off in 12 to 15, and you have the ability to do that.
Now, a lot of times people think that in order for me to get my credit straight, it's going to take, thousands of dollars. How can someone get the process going of, on the road to good credit?
I'm working with a company that is called MyEcon. And I started with it last year because it's hard for me to work one-on-one with everybody. And within this company, we have the system is set up to where you learn how to fix your own credit. We have the videos in there. We have the templates in there.